Hey everyone, how's it going? Hope you're all doing great. In this episode right here, we're going to be continuing from the previous episode. And as you can see here, in the previous episode, we already created like an account. So now we are not being shown the welcome package anymore. We're just shown accounts. And that's basically what we're doing in the accounts component. So what we're going to be doing here is, I'm going to show you guys we actually have an account like here, like with, the Acme Inc. that we created in the previous episode with all the details. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to render out the accounts instead of just rendering out this word accounts. I'm going to show you guys how to render this out. We also need to fix the new, the creation process. And basically what we need to do is when we create, we need the modal box to kind of disappear. And once you've created the accounts, we can go back to the actual page so we can see the account pop up over here. So let's go ahead and render out the accounts. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do import, inject, and then observer from Callbacks React. And here we're going to do inject, account, observer. So very simple here. What we're going to be doing is we're going to do a const collection is loading equals this dot props dot account. Or if you like, we can do account over here. We can do this dot props, and then here we do accounts. All right. So what we want to do is if is loading, we want to return null for now. And then if we have a collection, we will render out the collection. So let's go ahead and do this, just that. So let's just get it working and we'll make it look pretty later. So here we have the collection.map. And then each of these is going to be an account. Actually, we have to be careful here. We don't want to do another account in here. It will be confusing. All right, so that should be okay. So then what we want to do here is we want to render a div or a p tag or whatever. And then it'll be something like this. So div key acc.id, and then here acc.name. All right, so that should be okay. So let's see, Acme Inc. right there. We have Acme Inc. being rendered correctly now. So what I want to do then is I want to fix this up a little bit. Where first of all, we can't, if we want to create more accounts, we can't do that because we don't have a new creation, like create more account link or something like that. We don't have any of that stuff. But first of all, let's go ahead and fix the problem of, when we create an account, we need to, the modal box kind of needs to disappear. And then basically we need to be shown the account that was just created. So now that we're rendering out the account, what we want to do then is basically want to go back to the welcome package. So the only way to do that is to, remove or just let this user disown that account. So I'm going to do Control C over here just to quit the server. Upsize this just a tad so you guys can see better. We're going to be working a little bit in the console. So then what I'm going to do is Rails C, and I'm going to delete the account. So I'm going to do account equals account dot last, and it's Acme Inc. This is the account we created. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do account dot destroy. All right, so account has now been destroyed. So I'm going to head over into here, do a reload, sign in. Hang on, I need to basically start back the server. So Rails S to boot the server back up, and then I'm going to head over into the dashboard. All right, so now we're back at the welcome package. So what I want to show you guys how to do is use a custom callback to basically, once we're done here, we can close out the modal and, go back to the automatically close the modal box once you're done with it. I'm going to show you guys how to do just that. So I'm going to head over into the new over here. So what we want to do here, we want to modify this create, scope over here that we have with our store. So I'm going to head over to the scope over here, and I'm going to add us the ability to pass in a callback. And instead of using this default callback, I want to be able to write my own. Essentially, that's exactly what that's going to do. So I'm going to close this out and pass in a callback over here. So we can do the same for the update, but we'll do that once we get to it. So this callback is fine. We're passing in the callback. So now what we can do is in the new over here, I can pass in a third argument. So this is the second argument. So this is the callback. All right. So as you can see here, we have 201 response. And then so what we can do here is we can actually write, our own custom function on success, basically on created, add a semicolon. And now we can access the modal box and then close it. So once we add the data to the collection, once we append it, we want to call our own. So I want to use the settings. So if you remember when we were creating the modal box, we had an episode where we talked about what the settings does. So if you're not understanding where this is coming from, check back. And this is a free episode. So be aware that we have member exclusive episodes. So if you want to get, understand, have a cohesive experience of, what is going on over here, become a member and you get everything, as a buffet. You can watch as many videos as you like. So yeah. So we want to do this. We're going to want to inject the settings, and then we're going to access the modal box. So let's do a bit of a recap, for the newcomers. So we have a settings here that we set the modal, and the modal is being set from the layout. So I'm going to show you guys a layout over here. We set settings.layout.modal. So we can actually access the modal from our new component over here. Great. So we can do that by doing a settings, and we can do a const modal settings.layout like that. And now we can do a modal.close over here. All right, so we're passing the third, argument in here as a callback function. And so basically, this allows us to kind of like define our own custom behavior when we call when we call that create. We can pass it, hey, on 201, do this. And if it's an error, like let's say later we're going to handle errors as well, like validation errors and stuff. We can do like a 422 errors, and then we can say what we want to do down here. So that's kind of like the reason why behind the way I'm structuring it like this design pattern, if you will, is I want to have full control over like, okay, what happens if we get a 201? Great. 201 means everything is good, is created, close the modal box, go back to the page, right? And if it's not, then, we want to like handle the error somehow. So that's kind of like the idea behind this DSL, if you will. All right, so let's head back into the browser, do a reload real quick, and go ahead and create another one. So Acme Inc. is good, USD somewhere over the rainbow. Tax ID, whatever, 7.0, great, create. Something is not right. This append to collection is not. Okay, so we need to change this a little bit. So we need to do account. So I believe it created I created the Acme Inc. So I'm going to go to Rails console and then do account. Last, destroy, exit, Rails S. So just deleted the account we created so we can go back to the welcome page and try it out again. So I'm going to close this, and then here we can do Acme Inc. USD somewhere over the rainbow. Some tax ID 7.0, create. And you can see there, it closed the modal box automatically. And basically now, I'm just wondering why it's not rendering. So I'm getting this error here. So if I do a reload, I see the Acme ink over here. So that's a whole different issue. But for now, you can see that when it created when we hit save, it created the account, it closed the modal box by itself because of this over here. So in the next episode, we're going to be doing is I should be able to see the Acme ink right away, but now it's not showing. So we're going to debug that and see why that is. But as you can see, you can customize the callback and have all that working, and then you can see how it all works here. So in the next episode, we're going to be refining what we're doing here and actually make it work properly. So we can actually, close the modal box, maybe add a spinner, while it's saving, like when the form is saving to saving to the API, we show a spinner. When it's done, closes the modal box, we go back to our page and we see the content. So yeah, in the next episode, we're going to be doing those refinements. And this is a free episode, so like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also become a member to get access to everything, so that to make sure you're not missing out on anything that we're doing here. We're covering a lot of starting to be pretty intermediate to advanced concepts now. So these are techniques that I've developed over building many React apps for our clients and for people and for myself. So yeah, with that, I'm gonna wrap it up, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.